Hi friends, I'm really happy to stand for you for the classes of social studies, class 7. So, from the part history and lesson 2, new kingdoms, and part 2, class 7. Okay, and last class we discussed two topic, the Rajput and the origin, the rivalry between regional powers. This topic we completed by last episode. Now this is the second episode, and today we are going to deal with two main topics: the Gurjara Pratihāras, the Palas. That's the second topic. So today we are going to discuss the two main topics, and the rest of the main topic we explain by next coming episodes. And you have to wait for the coming episode, and you will get the complete understanding. So let's welcome once again each and every one of you for the online class of Kerala Public School. And you listen carefully. I just ask once again you to listen carefully and from the classes, and you will get the clear understanding. So let's start. And we learned maybe about the origin of the Rajput from this lesson, and the rivalry between each other. About that we discussed maybe the first episode. Now you have to learn something about the Gurjara Pratihāras. Okay, listen now. The Pratihāras established the states of Malwa in Rajasthan. You know that mainly these people, they established their own kingdom in Rajasthan. They established mainly the Gurjara Pratihāras. They established their kingdom mainly in Rajasthan, area of Rajasthan. Okay, that's the present day Rajasthan. And they gained the prominence during the rule of Nagavata first. Okay, Nagavata. First, 750 to 780 centuries. Okay, and they established their own kingdom in Rajasthan. And when maybe the 750 to 780, these are the time by the Nagavata. Okay, one of the kings, his name is Nagavata first. Okay, in his time, that means 750 to 780 centuries. They extended the empire by conquering Malwa and Bharat. And you know that they established in Rajasthan, and they extended their kingdom to where? Malwa to Bharat. They established the kingdom in Rajasthan, and maybe you know the time of Nagavata, 750 to 780 centuries, and they extended their kingdom towards the Malwa Plateau and to the Bharat. These are the two places they extended. They joined together. Okay, they extended their own territory to the Malwa to Bharat. That's the understanding we are getting. Now, he defeated the Arabs and who wanted to seize Malwa. You know that this Malwa area, Arabs are there. Okay, Arab people from Arabian countries. Arabs are there in Malwa. They just want to be including others. They want to invade the Malwa. That time, this Nagavata, they fought with the Arab people, and he just attacked this Malwa with his own territory. You understand? And this Nagavata first, and he fought with the Arab people because Arab people have isolated this Malwa, this plateau, this region, completely full resources are there. So Arab want this Malwa region, but the Nagavata first fought with Arab people, and he taken this Malwa also there. So Malwa to the Bharat, they extended their own territories. And the Pratihāra dynasty reached its peak under the rule of Mihir Bhoja. Listen now. One more things. Mihir Bhoja. Okay, one of the king's name. His name is Mihir Bhoja. 800 836 to 890 centuries. Okay. Hello. Another, the king is called Mihir and 836 to 890 centuries. We can see about the Mihir and for the Pradihara dynasty, and because of this kingdom, his rule, this reached the highest peak, and his name is Mihir and 836 to 890 centuries. And he has spun his kingdom and made a conquest to Punjab, Awadh, Malwa and Gujarat. You know that because of his rules, Mihir rules, he extended his own kingdom. Which are the places? He made under his own control. There are few maybe place name mentioned there. That is called Punjab, Awadh, Malwa, Gujarat. Okay. Gujarat Pradesh, we can understand that this Nagavata first 750 to 780 CE, and after that the Arab people they have always they have the eyes on the Malwa, but the Nagavata first fought with the Arab people and he received his sword, the Malwa to Baru. He established his own kingdom. Now we are learning about other people that's the Pradihara dynasty. Pradihara dynasty, one of the king's name Mihir 836 to 890 centuries are there, and he also extended his own kingdom to Punjab, Awadh, Malwa and Gujarat. Are you following what I am saying? We are talking about two different persons, Nagavata first. Now we are talking about Mihir and he extended his own kingdom, maybe Punjab, Awadh, Malwa and Gujarat. And you know that he established a capital at Kanuj, and after that he made his own capital at Kanuj. Okay, one of the places is called Kanuj, and he made his own capital. Okay, he just extended these are the kingdom maybe to the Punjab, Awadh, Malwa, Gujarat, and he established his own kingdom. Otherwise, in capital in Kanuj. Okay, one of the place name is Kanuj. He established. Otherwise, he started. He made his capital in Kanuj, and a trade was flourished, and between the Pradiharas and Central Asia. And you know that after that we can understand maybe after this in between this 836 to 890 trade was taken place. Trade wars are there, and a strong army and a fine cavalry and a continuous war with the Mughal Ghazni, and finally led to a decline of the Pradiharas by the 10th dynasty. And we have to understand that this one of the king, his name we also already mentioned that by the Mihir and he was doing everything well. He was taking care of his own area, his own territory well, and people almost made him happy. And what happened? He established, made his own capital in Kanuj also, and this time also maybe the trade wars are maybe happening with this king also, even the India itself, and trade was flourished because of that. Pradihars and Central Asian people they fought each other. Because of so many people, even the Mughals, almost they came from Central Asia to India only. And these people, and here the dynasty was reminded, especially the Mihir dynasty, otherwise the Gurjara dynasty, they fought with the Central Asian people. And they have so many series of war was taking place in India. And because of that, everything is going on very well. At the same time, they have to face lots of war. Serial of war they have to face. And because of that, one of the Mughal, his name is Muhammad Ghazni. Muhammad Ghazni. Okay, he came from the Central Asia, and he fought with this Mihir. Okay, you know that everything was very good. and he was keeping fine everything, and people also may be happy in his own territory. At the same time, they have to face lots of wars. And one of the person from Central Asia, his name is Muhammad Ghazni. He came to have the war with this Muhammad Boja. Okay, that was Mihir Boja. So what happened? Automatically, and not only a single war, not only a 2 war or 3 war, a serial of wars. So many wars they fought each other. That purposely, almost the power may be decreased. Even the cavalry may, so many people may die, and so many may the military, the power may be work below. Why? Because of that, the war as a serial war, not only 1 or 2 war, okay, and continuously they have war with this Muhammad Ghazni. And what happened? And the strong army and fine cavalry and the continuous war with the Muhammad Ghazni, and finally led to decline of the Pratihara's dynasty of 10th centuries. Okay, 10th centuries. Okay, automatically they are very good in leading, governing their own kingdom. But Muhammad Ghazni from the Central Asia came and serial war with this Mihir Boja, others Gurdjara Pratihars, and automatically up to the 10th century we can understand their dynasty became declined. You understand what I am saying? I hope that you understand what I said to you right now. Because of the continuous war with the Muhammad Ghazni, automatically their power became decreased, and in the 10th centuries they lost their power. That means declined their kingdom. Which kingdom? Mainly we can understand the Gurdjara Pratihara's their kingdom declined on the 10th centuries because of the war with the Muhammad Ghazni. Okay, that's the understanding we are getting from the Gurdjara Pratiharas about their dynasties. Okay, now we have to go ahead for the next topic. That is mainly we have to talk about the Palas. Okay, this Gurdjara Pratihara, I hope that you got information. And now we are to another dynasty that's called the Palas. So, while we are reading about the Palas, we are getting few information about this dynasty. So, I will tell one by one, you listen carefully, and you can write as maybe lecture notes that will help you to understand. Okay. So, the Palas dynasty. The Palas ruled over the states of present-day Bengal, Bihar, and parts of Odisha and Nepal. Okay. This dynasty mainly located in few states of India. That's I will mention maybe Bengal, Bihar, some parts of Odisha, and Nepal. Okay, so the Palas dynasty mainly we can understand that they established their own kingdom. These are the areas of right now maybe the Bengal, Bihar, some parts of the Odisha, and there are some parts of Nepal. Okay, these are the main location of this Palas dynasty. Are you following what I am saying? Maybe they established their own kingdom. Now we can understand that the Bengal states, you understand West Bengal, Bihar, some parts of the Odisha and the Nepal. These are the main territory of the Palas. Now, according to the Buddhist scholar, okay, Tharanada, one of the Buddhist scholars, his name is Taranada. Scholar. According to his opinion, we are going to learn about the opinion of the scholar Taranada, because I already explained to you that the Palas dynasty, they are mainly located. These are the states of India. Now recently we can understand the West Bengal and also the Bihar and some parts of Odisha, and there are some parts of Nepal. These are the areas the Palas were located, their dynasty was there. And according to one of the Buddhist scholar, his name is Taranada, and he said that the Gopal, as founder of the Pala dynasty, was elected as the king in 750 CE by the various chieftains of the states. Okay, and for their own dynasty, so many Palas dynasty, there are so many chieftains are chiefs. You know the village chiefs, you understand, and because of different chiefs are there in Palas dynasty. Because this is a vast area. Okay, one more chief one or two troops are not enough for to rule over almost all the areas of this Palas dynasty. So many chiefs are there. They elected the people. According to the information about the scholar, Buddhist scholar, his name is Narada. He said, and who was selected as the king? And we can understand that Govala, okay, the king Govala. Okay, mainly we are learning about the Palas dynasty, and according to the information of the scholar, Buddhist scholar, Narada said that, and the king Govala was selected. Okay, because of the so many chieftains, they selected Govala as a king for the Palas dynasty. Okay, so this information we are getting from the Narada, and then the Palas followed by the territorial expansion. We have to understand that. You know that this first territory belongs to those people, even the Palas. At the same time, they always want to maybe extend the boundaries, the territories. You know that almost all the people are having the greed to extend their own territories. We know that even the English East India Company, the French Company, even the different Europeans came to India, and they also want to, because the resource they want to, as much as resource they want to maybe export from India to their own countries, so they want to just extend their own territories. Even these people also, when Palas also, they hope that they believe that we have to extend our territory. We are getting the information from the scholar of Narada, and you also believe that we have to extend our own territory. Others, they believed in territorial expansion. And they had to face problem with the Pratiharas and Rashtrakutas. We learned already about the Pratiharas and Rashtrakutas, about the Pratiharas, the dynasty, where they located their dynasty or the kingdom, and Gurjara Pratiharas we learned. Okay, so if someone wants to extend their own kingdom, so they have to face other kings. That's usual. You know that so many kingdoms are there nearby. Okay, and someone wants to extend their own territory. For example, this different kingdom, and this kingdom first extend their own territory towards the second or third. So he must fight with this other kings. That's simple logically. So automatically the Palas, they are supposed to fight with the Pratiharas, Gurjara Pratiharas, to extend their own territory. That's very clear. So they have to face lots of war with this Gurjara Pratiharas, and they have to face the so many problems with the Pratiharas and Rashtrakutas, and Devpala and Rampala were the prominent rulers. Okay, from the Palas dynasty, mainly we understand that two main leaders, other kings are there. Their name is Devpala and Ramapala. Okay, these are the prominent kings. Okay, so many kings are there in Palas dynasty. So mainly we have to understand that maybe first of all the Govala, he is the founder of the Palas dynasties, and Devpala and Ramapala, another two personalities are the kings for the Palas dynasties. Okay, now Devpala and Ramapala were the prominent rulers, and Ramapala 1082 to 1124, and was the last great rulers of the dynasty. You know that the Ramapala is the last prominent, others important ruler. Okay, Ramapala. Okay, and so many kings were there belongs to the Palas dynasty, but he was the important. Ramapala is the important, maybe the ruler, others king for the Palas dynasties. And when we go ahead, we can understand that after the Rampalas ruled, the kingdom eventually disintegrated with the 12th century under the impact of Khilji invasions. Okay, and he was ruling very nicely. I think almost the people are happy because of his ruling. And after that, you know that we can understand that the history says that after the Rampalas ruled, the kingdom eventually disintegrated. Okay, after his rule, the kingdom became disintegrated by the 12th century. Okay, we have to learn the 12th century. Their kingdom integrated. Otherwise, declined. Okay, declined after the 12th century. Up to the 12th century, we can understand that it was very good, going on well, everything, and even the kings and his ruling and dynasty was going very well. There's no more problem. And you know, 12th century onwards, maybe the kingdom integrated, otherwise we can understand that declined. There will be some reason for that declination, and it is mentioned that one of the persons of 12th century, he invaded, and his name is Khilji. Okay. Khilji. He came from the Central Asia. We can understand that the 12th century, the Khilji, and impact of the Khilji invasion, automatically the 12th century, their power became declined. The Palas, the Nazis, their power became declined because of the invasion by the Khilji. Okay, what was another ruler Khilji? Maybe the Central ruler Khilji. He invaded many a time the Palas dynasty. Automatically, the 12th centuries, their power became decreased. The Tibetans actually tells that Palas were the patron of Buddhism, and Dharampada had found Vikramshila, and a famous center of the learning in Bihar. They had trade with Southeast Asia, and the dynasty almost 12th century is over. And maybe the historian that says that Tibetan historian says that maybe these Palas were the patron of the Buddhism, because the Palas people are there, they are almost the belongs to the Buddhist people, and they are the patrons of the Buddhism. Patron. Okay, they used to take care of the religion of the Buddhism by this Palas dynasty. Okay, they all of the follow of the maybe the Buddhism. That purposely we are saying that they are the patron of the Buddhism. They try to save the Buddhism, the religion of the Buddhism. They saved, they taken away, they are given to the generation about the Buddhism. And because of that, we are saying that these people are the patron of the Buddhism. Okay, who's Palas dynasty. And so Dharampada and founded Vikramshila. They have found the Vikramshila. Okay. Dharampada, they have made the Vikramshila, and a famous center of learning in Bihar. You know that Bihar, Vikramshila, everybody maybe knowing about this place, and for learning purpose, people are going there, Vikramshila. So that's founded by this Palas dynasty, and maybe they are the patron of the Buddhism, and they started their own, maybe the education center in Vikramshila. And they have traded with the Southeast Asia, and at the same time they have the trade with the Southeast Asia, and very good people under this Palas dynasty. They are the patron of the Buddhism, and also by the 12th century their power became integrated and was declared because of the invasion, a serious invasion of the Khilji, and that purpose only in 12th century their power completely declined. So Palas dynasty became over. Okay, because of the Khilji. That understanding we are getting from this paragraph. So I hope that you understand maybe about the Gurjara Pradiyara, and where they are located, what they have done, and what kind of invasion they have to face in their lives. And the second topic, the Palas, and about where they are located, and who is the main king, important kings, the prominent kings are the important king, the Dharampada, and who is the founder of this Palas dynasty. That also we explained, and we are getting information about the scholar Taranatha, and about his king, and he said that Gopala was the king, was the founder of this Palas dynasties, and how they became declined because of the Khilji invasions, and they were the patron of the Buddhism, and they saved the religion of Buddhism. They were always giving the priority for the Buddhism religion, and they are giving the education system also. That also they started Vikramshila for the education purpose. Okay, these are the information we got from the Palas dynasty from our own textbooks. So I hope that you understood which are things I will explain right now. And next topic we will discuss by next class. And which two maybe the topics I already explained. You read again and again. And maybe there will be objective questions are there in the textbook after the lesson. You go to the objective type questions, and you understand that any objectives related to this two paragraph, others two topics, you completed that. Then maybe the later finally when the lesson over, your objective all the questions may be over. Okay. So let me bind up by saying Until the next class, bye. Then God bless you all.